Hi, my name is Kayla Strumness. Welcome to 80s Fads, a true American horror story. Today I want to talk about horror. Not the kind with night terrors or mass villains, but something much more sinister, something born from the heart of an American culture itself. And surprisingly, we are going to find it in the seemingly innocent toy aisle in the 1980s. The early 80s gave us two iconic yet wildly different toy crazes. On one side, Coleco's Cabbage Patch Kids, sweet and innocent adoptable dolls. On the other, the notoriously grotesque Garbage Pail Kids trading stickers created by Topps. On the surface, these two toys appear to be completely different. While one represented pure rebellion and shock value, the other personified genuine innocence. But if we look more closely, both give us a fascinating and often disturbing look at the darker side of American society. The story of the Cabbage Patch Kid begins with the creator with a recognizable signature placed on the bottom of a childlike doll, that of Xavier Roberts, the inventor. Some say the dolls are what dreams are made of, and others, they might call them a nightmare. Roberts was the man who rose to fame on the narrative of wholesome, adoptable, and unique handcrafted dolls. The truth is, he might have created the craze that became an obsession for kids and adults, but he did not design the dolls or the concept. Artist Martha Nelson Thompson did. His wholesome family doll was built on pure deception. Martha Thomas had been creating soft sculpture dolls since the early 1970s and selling them with adoption papers, which Xavier Roberts purchased. Roberts then took the idea and ran with it on his own. When dolls were released, they were on the whole rage, and they were all based on a lie that caused a horror scene in stores around the United States. Now, anyone growing up in the 80s might remember Cabbage Patch Kids as cute, harmless trend. Who didn't want to adopt one of these adorable, unique dolls? But let's be honest. Coleco, the company behind them, made them also impossible to find, and then what happened? These cute, adoptable dolls were flying off the shelves quicker than they were placed on them. During the record-breaking holiday season of 1983, the demand for Cabbage Patch Kids created overall retail chaos, commonly referred to as the Cabbage Patch Kid riot. There was a feverish amount of desperate frenzies to buy them. This wasn't just about cute dolls. It revealed a deeply unsettling aspect of our consumerist madness. It hinted at the sheer ugliness that can emerge when supply and demand created a horrifying scarcity. The demand that was great, the Christmas shoppers turned violent when the dolls were not available in stores and rioted when they were available. In Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, a woman suffered a broken leg after a crowd of 1,000 turned violent at a Zayre store. There were also reports of a pregnant woman who being trampled, shoppers rendered unconscious, and children being hospitalized. Store employees were also known as to wield baseball bats in order to control unruly shoppers and defend themselves against them. A documentary called Billion Dollar Babies, The True Story of the Cabbage Patch Kids, truly shows the horror created by this craze. Adults can be seen acting angrily and aggressive over toys, which reveals an unsettling reality about how easily consumerism can cause people to lose their sense of ethics and even their humanity. This mob mentality paints a terrifying picture of our society's obsession of having the it product, since it is motivated by fear of missing out and the intense desire of the safeties of children or one's own needs. Aside of the uncontrollable buying frenzy surrounding their purchases, this Cabbage Patch Kid also offered, for some parents, a more different, if not positive, lesson of responsibility and care. A basic way to help children learn to be parents, attached to every doll, no matter the shape or size, was a unique look, a birth certificate, and adoption papers. And the experience of acquiring each one helped children think of their doll not as a toy, but as a unique individual for them to take care of. The concept of adoption helped children to claim their ownership, elicited responsibility, and provided them with the ability to experience empathy. They help teach children about care, naming, and even the development of the emotional relationship between child and adult. So while the adult world descends into a consumerist frenzy to get them, the dolls themselves were simultaneously instilling a sense of parenthood and domestic obligation in the children who received them. The madness surrounding the Cabbage Patch Kid brought a light, even darker side to American consumerism, exposing how manufactured scarcity can spark violent desire. Due to an unnerving element as well as some of the dolls' unique qualities, Cabbage Patch Kids had expectedly earned a home in the American horror genre. A feeling of anxiety might be created by their strangely expressive faces and abnormally huge heads, which goes against their intended appeal. The dolls have also almost human appearances, but their wide-eyed, fixated gaze and soft, chubby features can become too realistic to cause an immediate discomfort. This feeling people experience is an example of the uncanny valley effect, which was coined by Mashiro Mori, is where something that is almost human but not quite, triggers an unsettling feeling rather than warmth or familiarity. This unsettling atmosphere is often found in horror narratives precisely because it plays on our discomfort with objects that blur the lines between animate and inanimate. The creepy appeal of Cabbage Patch Kids is much like what you see in the famous horror movie dolls. Take Annabelle, for example. In the movies, she is a scary porcelain doll, but the real Annabelle is just simply a Raggedy Ann doll that looked innocent. The horror in the Annabelle movie isn't just because she demon possesses her. It also comes from how she is, and her blank staring gaze. As Sandra Mills, a researcher, notes, Annabelle is notable for both her stillness and silence, making her scary with her eerie, uncanny hue. This is much like the unease some people feel when they see Cabbage Patch Kids. Their fixed, wide eyes, slightly odd expressions can make them seem like quiet watchers, able to be seen but not react. This feeling is a common trick in doll horror. Similarly, Chucky from the Child's Play movies was first a normal good guy doll. This was a toy made for everyone, much like a Cabbage Patch Kid, in how popular it was, but then it became filled with a desire to kill. While Chucky clears violence and bad language, making him a horror star, his first scary quality comes from mixing his childlike looks with evil actions. As an article on Fandom points out, the first Child's Play movie features a Cabbage Patch Kid wannabe. The horror comes from twisting something meant to be comforting into something terrifying. The idea that a child's favorite toy could become evil touches on a deep fear with all they share: the loss of innocence. This uneasy feeling is also present in how Cabbage Patch Kids look almost too real with their exaggerated features and stitched faces, which can feel a little creepy. While Cabbage Patch Kids represented a subtle psychological horror linked to consumerism and their disturbing backstory, Garbage Pail Kids often offered a different kind of horror. With their shocking ugliness, characterized by grotesque facial features and messy appearances along with sharp social commentary, they brought a unique and unsettling experience into American homes through their outrageous humor and bold critiques of society. In 1985, cartoonist Art Spiegelman, with the help of famous trading card brand Topps, released his newest creation, Garbage Pail Kids. They launched a direct assault onto American sensibilities, reflecting the nation's complex relationship with horror embracing it while also fearing it. This mix of humor and horror is what makes people find them so engaging, and they turn our worst nightmares into something we can interact with, even if it's funny. According to Topps, the Garbage Pail Kids illustrated all of the terrible things that could happen to a person with all the unconsciousness fear laid out in bright colors. The Garbage Pail Kids cards even serve an example of how commodification is continuous. The makers of the Garbage Pail Kids cards and stickers capitalized on kids' interest in gross things by giving them a trendy commercial method to the fun of making fun of the Cabbage Patch Doll movement and to discuss forbidden topics like disorder and body manipulation. When these stickers were originally created as a spoof of the cute, sweet Cabbage Patch Kids, Coleco objected them to turn Made's public interest in the rise, causing sales to skyrocket. Garbage Pail Kids represent a unique part of American horror. Reflecting societal worries and cultural critiques, these trading cards featured characters with repulsive abnormities, gross habits, and unfortunate, often violent fate, such as characters Adam Bomb, whose head literally exploded, or Nasty Nick, who was a vampire. Unlike the subtle fear created by Cabbage Patch Kids, these stickers boldly faced our deepest fears with humor and grotesque images. They mirror the chaos and absurdity of American life in the 1980s, a time marked by consumerism and the interest in the strange. Due to these images they presented, many parents thought they were disgusting and didn't approve of their children having these cards. One Connecticut school district even banned the cards from all school properties. In a New York Times article, Garbage Pail Kids' Trash Collection or Good Humor, written a year after the cards were released, discussed how social workers were concerned about the effects of these cards had on children. They were worried that the depiction of violence might cause aggression behavior in children. The arguments and disagreements about Garbage Pail Kids actually made them even more popular and shocking. This helped them earn a spot in American horror, showing how uncomfortable society was with the things that were gross and ugly. Parents were angry and schools even banned them. But instead of stopping their popularity, this anger often made more kids want the cards even more, because kids liked how rebellious they were. This shows a type of social horror, the fear adults had that young people were being ruined and that old traditions were being flipped upside down. Mark Newgard, one of the people who created Garbage Pail Kids, noticed that all of the attention from the news and parents' bans just made the cards more popular. He said when parents started telling their kids, "I forbid you to have these awful, disgusting things," more popular the series became. The cards became a symbol of kids pushing back against adult rules and the normal ideas of beauty. They were like a gross mirror reflecting America's perfect image back on itself. Film critics destroyed the 1987 film version of Garbage Pail Kids movies, and it critically banned in theaters, which additionally became added to the horror style. It shows kids of the kiddie body humor, which is horror about bodies that many found truly upsetting. The movie brought the gross, creepy pictures from the Garbage Pail Kids cards to life using actors in robot costumes. This made many viewers feel like they were watching a fever dream or truly scary movie. This unexpected horror, simply by showing the weird design in real life, made the cards an even more upsetting part of pop culture. Surprisingly, even child experts, like looking at an old Garbage Pail Kid cartoon, though their cards might help kids deal with fears like accidents or injuries. So whether the horror was on purpose or not, the Garbage Pail Kids tapped into common worries, giving kids a strange but helpful way to face their fears while being a popular craze. This real version of the ugliness accidentally made this movie scary, turning what was supposed to be kids' comedy into a nightmare for many young viewers. Like the cards, the movie showed a messed up innocence and the strange side of buying things, proving that even a film made to sell toys could become a source of nightmares, showing how wild and uncomfortable 1980s entertainment could be. In conclusion, while in the 80s toy aisles seemed innocent, both Cabbage Patch Kids and Garbage Pail Kids unexpectedly became symbols of American horror. The Cabbage Patch Kid was their hidden origin story, and the intense, almost violent shopping riots they caused revealed the frightening side of the consumerism and unsettling uncanny valley in their doll-like features. While some argued these dolls taught children responsibility and care, their darker culture impact showed how easily desire can turn into chaos. In contrast, the Garbage Pail Kids openly embraced the grotesque, using shocking images and sharp satire to challenge society's norms and reflect our deepest fears. Their controversial nature and even their unintentionally disturbing movie solidified their place as a unique form of horror. Ultimately, both toy crazes, whether through subtle psychological unease or overt gross out humor, served as an unsettling mirrors to American society, showing how childhood icons can reveal our culture's anxieties and fears. So as we look at this trend and things we love today, what are hidden fears or surprising truths might they be showing us about ourselves?